In the U.S., gun regulations vary from state to state, providing a loophole for gun traffickers who are able to smuggle weapons around the country and sell them to people illegally in areas where it's harder to buy firearms. Earlier, CCTV spoke to a couple whose son was shot 22 years ago. His name was Matthew Black, a 21-year-old college student. The Blacks told us how they faced the young men who killed their son.
Matthew was very loved, and you love all your children equally, but Matthew was our firstborn.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, we got a call from a New York detective with 4 short sentences. He said, "Your son was the victim of a robbery. He did not offer resistance. He was shot. He is deceased." That was our introduction to gun violence.
How many times were he shot?
I believe just once. Through the temple, and it went through the head, and the bullet lodged in his throat. He was the victim of a double homicide that night. 3 15-year-olds with a Saturday night special.
I tried to make contact with the shooter, and I asked him in a letter, where did he get his gun? And he told me, this is a 15-year-old, he told me, well, they go down to the south and they load guns into the trunk of the car, and they drive up into my New York hood and sell them out of the trunk.
But my wife and I did go back for the sentencing, and we did have a chance to confront, and we did have a chance to talk to the judge and the different attorneys involved, so we had a chance to say our piece.
So you did have a chance to talk to the shooter?
Yes.
Face to face?
Yes. I was so afraid that I wouldn't be able to get the words out. It was really important for me to tell those young men how important and precious Matthew was.
We took a picture of Matthew and a picture of the gravestone, and we put that in front of each one of those young men, just so they can understand and see what they...
Did they feel remorseful?
One of the young men said, "I'm sorry."
And that's it?
Yeah.
If an armed society were a polite society, we would be the most polite country in the whole world.
Absolutely.
And obviously, you know, the statistics are just the opposite of that.
I mean, other nations like ours have figured it out. And Charlie and I do quite a bit of traveling, and it's almost a little embarrassing. You know, we are portrayed as those crazy Americans that shoot each other. And
unfortunately, they're correct.